My name is Annelotte Lammertse. I'm a resident here and I'm an artist and researcher. My work in general always revolves around our relationship with our close natural surroundings, mostly in urban settings or in urban landscapes. The knowledge productions that are created around these wild plants mostly. The human-non-human relationships that are present, that we can find, but also the human relationships that are present. And then very often also encountering the way these places have been controlled or non-controlled in way of embarkment or demarcating, classification. So these kind of histories of controlling what we call nature, trying to go beyond these kind of systems, these binary systems. And in that process, a collaboration is always important. So to look together at forms of creating new stories or using these histories of how the plants were used or appropriated, mostly used as extractivist objects. So how new relationships can be formed where there is a more mutual relationship with these plants. I work mostly with plants that have a color agency, so the pigments these plants produce. I often translate these effects into textiles, so coloring the textiles, but also silk screens or using the pigments, and then often making woven objects with that. For the last 3 months, looking into the plants that grow around the castle. So we organized a workshop on the 21st of June, which is around the time of the summer solstice, which is a quite symbolic day and meaning because I started to look into the plant of the St. John's, which is harvested traditionally in these 3 days, so from the 21st to the 24th of June. Because at this time the plants hold these magical powers that it only has when you harvest it at this day. This plant has one specific pigment. It has several pigments inside its body, but one that is really in the middle of the plant, it's of the flower under the stems, which is called hypersine, and it's a purple-red pigment that protects the plants from outside predators, and it's photosensitive and it's toxic. It's often used in an oil. What I find very interesting is this relationship with the sun and the color and the heat creating this kind of pigments. And at the same time, this end of June, I got into the research of the Polish coccinea, which is also called June beetle in English, and which in Polish has the same name as the word of June, because it was harvested traditionally also at the same time of the St. John's wort, at the end of June. And the female beetle at the end of June comes because it lives on the roots of a few wild plants. And at the end of June, it crawls up to the flowers, and it's time to mate. And then the female also blows up with the red pigments. And these two plants are often related to each other. So it was a sort of symbolic day of thinking about these two plants and then the insect and the influence it had on history, but also how much it's still related in the language and is there.